Nectar.
What's going on, all you movie lover badasses out there? Phat Samurai Guy is here with Lady Phatblood on the Verbal Nectar podcast, episode 4. How you doing?
Great. Yeah.
It's not that I, don't live with you or anything.
I'm thrilled to be here, and I love talking about movies.
Yeah, we like the movies. We like to go to the movies and talk about the movies. Do you like movies?
Yeah.
But welcome back, friends, family. That's right. Welcome back to Verbal Nectar Podcast, the ridiculous name for the ridiculous podcast. And we're going to chit-chat, sit back, relax, and talk a little bit about the movies.
For when we don't feel like being on camera for whatever reason. For when
Well, it's called time constraints, man.
For when we've already seen the trailers and can't do a reaction / review.
Yes, because when all our trailer reaction videos are real, so all of you out there that are saying that that's the shit is staged, you can go fuck yourself.
Has anybody ever said that?
Yes.
Are you serious?
Yes. Yeah.
Are you serious?
They feel some of our trailer reactions are staged.
Which ones?
Last Blood, the most recent
what?
one. Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah, this is fake. Staged.
What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I don't even remember overreacting to that.
And we're the most realist of all real trailer reactors out there.
I don't even remember giving a big enough reaction. Did you?
I don't know.
Oh my god,
It doesn't matter.
That's insulting. Oh my god. There have been. Listen, let me just give you some context here. There have been. I can probably name maybe 2 trailer reactions that we filmed. That would be the first Avengers Endgame teaser. And X-Men Dark Phoenix. We did not release the videos.
Right.
Because the reactions were terrible and non-existent.
Right.
We didn't feel that it was worth actually releasing the video to. So
Endgame,
we don't do. It's like we don't.
Yeah, if we were fake.
Yeah, we would have
released those videos.
We would have redone it.
Yeah, we would have redone
them.
Yeah, we would have redone them and overreacted on camera.
I mean,
and then re-uploaded it.
Yeah. So there's no reason for us to be fake because we're too stupid to know. We're too ridiculous to be fake. I'm just saying we're too idiotic to be anything other than what we are. Anyway, so the Joker final.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the Joker. I know we've got a lot of requests to do a reaction video to the final trailer of the Joker starring Joaquin Phoenix.
It ain't gonna happen. Sorry. By the time it came out, you had already seen it.
Yeah.
I was pulling overtime at work.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to see it.
And if we were fake, if we were fake reactors, we would have released the video.
Yeah.
The most popular video that people are going crazy over trailer right now. If we were desperate for views and sellouts and shills, we would have released one.
I'm going to be honest.
Okay.
I'm glad we didn't
because it's called We Have to Work.
Yeah.
Our time, what is it? Time. Our time schedules don't meet all the time.
Yeah, we don't. Our schedules don't coincide at all.
Right. And so when we get time, and if the trailer is interesting,
and if our reactions are noteworthy, or if we
then we'll do a video.
If we feel like we had anything to say about said trailer.
Yeah.
And that's, again, I'm glid we didn't film a second trailer reaction to the Joker because honestly, I did not have any kind of reaction.
And neither did I either because okay, so if you guys have seen or not seen our first trailer reaction to the first Joker trailer, I got really excited I was like, just, oh man, like the song they picked was perfect for the movie, and we were thinking about the possibilities of what the movie could be about, and just talking about all kinds of stuff. So we were excited with the very first trailer of the Joker,
and moreover, very intrigued.
Yeah, really interested. Yeah, to see what this movie's all about. So me and her pretty much had the same reaction. We watched the trailer different times. I watched it first, and you watched it later. But we pretty much had the same reaction in terms of we are not we're already excited for the film. We're not more excited.
Yeah.
This newest trailer, I like the first trailer better, but this newest trailer, it didn't excite me more.
Yeah.
But it made me comfortable and kind of reassured me in terms of we're pretty much guaranteed Joaquin Phoenix is going to do a fantastic job in the film.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Seeing this again, I'm not worried. I'm not concerned. This second trailer put me at ease and kind of be like, all right, this still looks like a good movie. We're still going to definitely go watch it and review it for you guys. But I wasn't more excited. I was more like, hey, this still looks good, and I can't wait to check it out.
I have a different...
And you felt like that or no?
I have a different set of expectations for this movie that I don't typically have for comic book based films.
Yeah. Okay.
As much as I love the MCU, I guess you could say I'm feeling the burnout.
Right.
With Avengers Endgame. I'm pretty much done with the MCU. I don't need to go any farther with it. I saw the last Spider-Man film, and I'm good. Yeah. I'm good to go. I'm done. I have no reason to follow it anymore.
And now that Spider-Man has been yanked back to Sony.
That's a moot point at this junction. That is no longer even a relevancy. And I feel like, Marvel had their own brand of superhero films, and it was fun, and it was fine.
Yeah. It was a great ride.
But, when I first... When the Dark Knight films came out, when Christopher Nolan's Batman movies were out,
changed the game.
I was so, especially when the Dark Knight came out, I was so heavily invested that when 2012 came out, when that came around, it was down to two major films that year. It was The Dark Knight Rises and Avengers. Now, obviously, we were all pumped for Avengers, but I was really, really pumped for the end of the trilogy, which was The Dark Knight Rises.
Right.
I haven't had that from DC since.
Yeah, you mean in terms of anticipation?
From DC.
Right, anticipation.
From them, correct.
Right,
because they've gone off on their little tangents. And, they had their own style of comic book films with Christopher Nolan's aesthetic and that
which
universe.
Has split the audience.
And that's fine, but I personally loved it, and I miss it, and I miss DC's direction when they had it. And this particular film in The Joker, I want it to be something special.
Yes.
And I think it can be. And I don't think this is going to be your typical... like casual audience member crowd pleaser. I think this is gonna confuse some people because they're gonna want to know why isn't Batman in this? They're gonna want to know why isn't this preluding to the Suicide Squad? You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be a lot of people asking dumb questions about this. Right.
Where's Ben Affleck? Where's the Justice League?
Stuff like that. They're probably not gonna understand that this is like a completely unique one-off thing. And I gotta say, if they stick to their guns, and they dig their heels in, and this is a one and done, which we've heard that this is it. Joaquin Phoenix is not a diva. He's not gonna give me some more money and we'll talk about a sequel. He's not like that. Right. He's his own entity, and I kind of, if this is what I think it is, I want DC to do more of this.
Oh yeah.
I want DC. One-offs. I want DC to put all of their money into these kind of more thought-provoking, more interesting character studies of what films can be based off of comic book, properties. Will we get that? I really hope so. We have not had a truly dark and soul-searching experience in a long time when it comes to this kind of source material. So
But the whole, like you said, the whole one-off idea, I think is a fantastic.
Yeah, be different.
Like the DC animated universe,
which they usually excel at.
Yeah, but it's all one-offs.
Yeah.
Some of them sequel each other, but they're like the rumor of a Flashpoint movie. A live-action Flashpoint film. I was so excited to hear that because that's its own thing. It's one and done, and that would have been so exciting to see that world. It would have confused the shit out of the casuals, though. Yeah. The casual audience would have been like, what?
Same problem. Yeah, the same problem.
So, if you're not well-versed on the DC Universe lore, listeners out there, I would say... And it's not like we're experts. We're not either. No. But I would say for the listeners that's listening to this podcast right now, if just go in to see the Joker with an open mind. Just remember this. Lower your expectations just a little bit, just to be on the safe side, and go in with an open mind and know this is an Elseworlds story. This is a one and done origin story of the Joker. This is an actor, director, producer, writer. They all got together and decided to maybe take a few beats here and there from The Killing Joke, a little bit, in terms of him being a comedian and all that, a failed comedian. But I would say, what, casuals and DC fanboys, I would say, just go in with an open mind and lower your expectations just a little bit, just to be on the safe side, because you never know. So far, we have not read any reviews, but a lot of you guys out there have been sending me messages, letting me know of all the positive feedback that this early reviews of the Joker has gotten already, and that's great to hear. That's fantastic to hear.
Very encouraging.
But. Just be on the safe side. I don't want anybody going into this expecting the greatest film, the greatest comic book movie ever made, the greatest story told, in the genre. Just go in and expect an interesting tale of madness and see how this portrayal, see how the story of Joker comes to fruition. Let's let Joaquin Phoenix do his thing. This director is not known to do serious movies like this. Let's see what he does at, getting his shot at this, doing a story like this. And then that way, we can all be blown away from what's ahead. We can come out and go, holy shit, that exceeded our expectations, that completely blew us away. That's what I want everyone to do. Yeah. Because, but you brought up a good point. There's going to be people that are going to be like, what? There's a good chance. There might be a lot of people who are disappointed that are expecting some kind of connection to the DCEU that kind of exists and kind of doesn't now. Right. So again, we are really interested and excited, and we're glad to hear the film's getting positive reviews, but we're still not going insane over the hype yet.
I have a personal reason for that.
Okay, go ahead. Damn it. Here we go.
Anybody who knows me knows what it is. Godzilla King of the Monsters killed my ability to be overhyped for anything anymore. Yeah. But I feel like personally it's a good thing. Because if that taught me anything, it's to calm my fucking expectations the hell down. Yeah. And, maybe I would have enjoyed the movie a little bit more if I hadn't gone in, watched 4 fucking trailers, watched every single goddamn TV spot. And kudos to Warner Brothers, like we were talking about the other day, for only having 2 trailers on this movie.
That is unheard of.
And that's it. We have seen not one damn other thing. Ruining, oversaturating this movie to the point of where, okay, I don't even want to see it anymore because I felt like I've seen most of the movie and overhyping the shit out of it.
Right, it's just 2 trailers.
We're gonna go into this movie barely knowing a thing, and I am thrilled for that fact alone that we literally don't know what we're gonna get. I think if anything,
it's gonna be exciting.
That's what I'm most excited about. is that I literally have no idea what I'm going to get out of this movie, and you never get that anymore.
No.
You do not get that.
There's
that
5 billion.
pleasure.
There's 5 billion TV spots.
No, you do not get the joy and the pleasure of being surprised by
Right.
movies anymore unless you just happen to stumble into a theater
Yeah.
and, well, what's this? I've never heard of this. I'm going to go see this because I've never seen a trailer on it before. We've seen 2 trailers.
Yeah.
They've mostly had the same footage on it.
Yeah,
Mostly.
and that's another one of the reasons why I'm glad we didn't really do a trailer reaction to the second trailer, is because it didn't really show that much more.
Yeah, it didn't.
It was kind of the same beats.
And I'm happy. I'm happy
Yeah,
that it didn't.
yeah.
Because, like I said, we're going to go in fresh.
Yeah.
We don't know what to expect.
And that's another reason why on the channel we don't do trailer reactions to every single trailer that comes out, because we do want to be surprised. If something's interesting, we'll do a reaction to it, a video to it, because we want the audience to be there with us, our viewers, and enjoy us either hating what we're watching
Oh, God.
or being entertained by it. But yes, Joker, we are very intrigued and interested to check out the film, and we are happy that it's getting positive reviews.
And
But we don't have Joker boners right now.
No, my greatest hope is to come out giving this a 5.
Oh yeah,
And come
hopefully
out
yeah.
and come out saying this was one of the greatest movie experiences I've ever had. That's my hope.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see.
I love that I have no idea what I'm gonna get.
So, talking about the trailer again, it looks now. It kind of looks like Zazie Beetz is the love interest. There was a scene.
Little odd, the age difference, but that's Hollywood for you, I guess.
Thomas Wayne. It looked like he punched the Joker. We don't know why, or Joaquin. But there was definitely some great moments in that second trailer where he's talking to the counselor. She's like, "We're done," and he's just like, what's on your mind or whatever, and he's kind of like, all I have is negative thoughts. I mean, that's just crazy, man. And I love how he's doing his laugh. Great laugh, by the way, and then he shuts down blank.
Yeah.
Stuff like that is like, yes, I think we're in for a treat.
Yeah.
We are in for a treat here.
It looks like he's going to be the one possibly inspiring the madness that's
Right.
going to be ensuing in the city. And
Yes.
it looks like he's just going to enjoy it, sit back. It's literally almost the saying we got in the 2008 Dark Knight. Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Yeah.
We might actually get to see that.
We might,
that actual thing happen, possibly.
And we're really happy the movie's rated R.
And
Thank God they didn't bitch out.
and it seems that if anything, also the gravitas that they're giving this film, how seriously they're taking it, and just the actor that they've gotten to play him, that alone is just, it shows that they care.
Yeah.
And just the fact that they're going there, that they're doing this whole thing, and they're treating it with such respect. Like I said, I have my fingers like quadruple crossed for this.
Now here's the thing, all you listeners out there. If the movie is as good as we want it to be, we have to make sure it's a success. Because if this movie critically does well, but financially bombs,
it's not going to matter.
DC and mostly Warner Brothers will be like, well, we're never doing that again.
Yeah.
We're never taking risks again.
Yeah.
You guys want to do some special one-off? Nope. You want to make a rated R comic book movie? Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, hopefully it does well on critically and financially. Now, the next trailer we're going to talk about, a lot of people asked why we didn't do a reaction to it.
Kind of the same reason?
Kind of the same reasons.
Yeah.
If you don't see a reaction video, it's called work.
Yeah.
We work for a living, guys, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so D23, special look at Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker footage. Now,
Oh boy.
the first teaser we did a reaction to, and unfortunately, I kind of fanboyed out a little bit when I heard Sidious's laugh. I kind of lost my mind because it was unexpected.
Yeah.
And I said, "Are you fucking Sidious?" Which a lot of people enjoyed that. But it's fake trailer reaction, so I had that planned.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I wrote the script.
Done.
I wrote the script down so I could say it right at that moment because all our reactions are fake.
Good job.
So, it was just a teaser. I was happy to see Lando back with Chewie and the Falcon again. And I kind of fanboyed a little bit. I'll be honest, okay? I grew up with Star Wars.
I'm a little interested.
Yeah, you did too.
That's fine.
Now, when I watched this trailer, the fanboy in me and the excitement of just watching and revisiting the Star Wars universe again came back. They played the whole nostalgia card, the first majority of the trailer, really. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, I bought it. I know a lot of other people didn't buy it, but I got the nostalgia. Lady Phatblood did not buy it at all. So, but I bought it, and I was like, oh, there's the feels of the good Star Wars movies. Well, they did throw in the prequels there too, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The feels of the original trilogy footage and seeing that, and then now they're making a big deal of this is the finale of this new trilogy. Bring your friends, bring your grandma, bring everybody to see this movie, and I was happy to see the glowy sticks again. I'm sorry. I know. The Last Jedi had glowy sticks, and it brought me back, and I was really disappointed with The Last Jedi. But here we are. Glowy sticks are back. Yeah. We got glowy sticks fighting. I like the shot of, Rey training in the forest, and she's using the force to, flick that lightsaber around. I think that's dope. That was cool to me. I didn't see Rose anywhere, which was, positive. They show Finn with some other girl, which I'm very happy about that.
Oh, Lord.
And, anyway, glowy sticks. I was kind of happy to see what I saw, and the end shot of Sith Rey, that came, I was not expecting that, and that kind of caught me off guard, and I got a little bit excited when I saw that. And especially visually, and when John Williams' score posted over the trailer, they knew exactly what they were doing. Visually, seeing Rey versus Kylo Ren, it looked like they were fighting on a ship, and you got waves and the ocean crashing around them, and the camera zooming in on there. That got me really excited, and mostly it got me excited not just for, here's the finale fight of this movie. It got me excited because you could see the potential of what could be in future Star Wars films. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That visual shot could be another Sith from another story versus another Jedi, or someone powerful in the Force from another story, with new, interesting characters, with new adventures, not coasting on the old school. And that's kind of what I looked at, and I was just like, what could we have? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wasn't like, oh my God, Rey versus Kylo. I wasn't orgasming because of that. I was more like, this is what should be. Mm-hmm. Visually, we have the technology. The directors, we have it. Let's make some good Star Wars movies here with new characters, interesting characters, a great story. Let's go on another adventure with another crew. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I fanboyed out a little bit. Mm-hmm. I'll be honest. Now, revisiting it again, reality has set in. And Lady Phatblood's pretty much gonna break it down, her reaction to the trailer, and I'll jump in whenever needed.
Okay,
now,
that wasn't a trailer. That was not a trailer. That was a really nice orchestral piece of Star Wars music, starting off with the Yoda theme, which very nicely slowly merged into Rey's theme for no apparent reason, but I forgave it because I happen to like both of those themes very much. Which consisted mostly of 3 much better films merging into 3 not so great films, and then merging into what we have now, which isn't much. Basically, it reminded me of Ghostbusters 2016 trailer, where we do not have the confidence in our own project right now to think that people are on board with what we're doing, so let the nostalgia flow.
Right.
And you remember all this stuff. This is why you're here. Remember all this. But the problem is, I think they know that they've fucked up a lot of their fans' faith.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, a lot of them are still around.
Right.
And you know, there's never everybody's abandoned the fan base. It's never like that. There's always going to be, it's always going to be split. Everything is always going to have two sides.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of huge fans of The Last Jedi.
And I just thought this was not, I didn't feel like this was a trailer. I thought this was just...
It really wasn't.
I felt like this was a promotional, this would have been more of a teaser than anything.
Or a TV spot.
This told me absolutely nothing about the film.
Right.
I have no idea where this movie is going.
Yeah.
And not in a good way.
Right.
Like, we were just talking about Joker.
Right.
I feel confident that I'm going to walk in being pleasantly surprised to Joker.
And
where
this
movie, I feel like this film, this franchise, this last trilogy has been rudderless since the get-go. Now, I defended The Force Awakens.
We both did.
I defended it for tugging on nostalgia because I felt like the fan base was...
It had to happen.
I felt like the fan base after the second trilogy was traumatized and bitter after what happened. And they needed to be reassured that things were going to be okay. And that's why they needed to kind of...
Play it safe.
They needed to play it safe and they needed to rely on 70 parts nostalgia and the rest on their own characters. And I thought after that we would be done with it and we'd be able to go tell our own story. Well, you know, what ended up coming about was that we never had a direction. We never had we never really had a particular direction we were going to go with any of our characters that we introduced in this story. And I know George Lucas always said that his original films, there were always 9 parts, and he always knew the direction that they were always going to go, even though he started with episode 4. And he allegedly always knew where the beginning, middle, and end was and all that. And if you believe what he says, episode 4, even though you could very well end on episode 4 the way it ends, even though Darth Vader is still alive, obviously episode 5 comes along, which leads directly into episode 6, and they're pretty fluid. Okay, there was a clear direction for that trilogy, and I hate to say it, but episodes 1, 2, and 3, clear direction. I hate to defend that second trilogy, but you knew where everyone was going and that there was a reason for what was happening. This new trilogy, we never once had that. Anything that was supposed to maybe have happened, oh, well, we're going to subvert all of your expectations because you'll never see it coming, and that makes for good storytelling. And so now everything that we've set up now no longer matters, but now we're left with nothing. And now we have to retcon and start over. And so now we're basically back to square one. So now we have one movie to wrap up loose ends that we should have been halfway done with the story by now. And I don't know where this is going. I don't give a shit about that bullshit dark ray, the dark ray cloak and the double lightsaber, the Sith crap. I don't care because it's probably all bullshit. It's probably
it is.
It's probably her facing her dark side and all that.
Well, this is I gotta cut in here and
stop me.
Bring up Sexy Sumo.
Yeah.
So Sexy Sumo, like me, we're a fan of the glowy sticks, and we were talking about the bootleg trailer. We're not even gonna call this a trailer anymore. Bootleg trailer of Rise of Skywalker. So we were talking about the whole Rey Sith Rey or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, it's probably a dream sequence." Obviously, Disney does not have the balls to have. I would be stunned because it says Rise of Skywalker that Rey becomes Sith Rey, and since he's technically a Skywalker, goes to the light. That is huge balls. I would be stunned if they pulled that off.
And I'm going to add to that when you're done with your story.
Okay. So anyway, so he's like, "Oh, it's a dream sequence," and I was like, "Well, you know, it's probably time travel." And then when they travel in time, we'll probably see an alternate version of Rey at some point. And that's probably what we're looking at. What if Rey went to the dark side around this time? And he goes, time travel? And I'm like, yeah, supposedly the rumor is that they're going to have time travel in this new movie. And his reaction was great. Sexy Sumo did this. He went, no! It was hilarious. It was hilarious. He was like, no, Star Trek. That's Star Trek.
Yeah.
Time travel is Star Trek.
Well.
Okay? Star Trek.
Yep.
And supposedly in Star Wars Rebels, the animated series, they kind of brought in time travel a little bit already before this even happened. So is that what they're doing? Is that where your retcon comes in?
Okay,
time travel?
I've never seen any of the Star Wars animated series, but my understanding is most of them are pretty good.
I enjoyed Clone Wars.
Okay,
Take out the Jar Jar Bink episodes. Clone Wars was good.
Most of them are pretty good, and I'm going to assume it's because they were earned.
Yeah.
They were developed.
Character development.
There were stories that were well crafted and well told and well executed.
Yes.
Well, these movies haven't earned that. And back to the whole, what would have been interesting about Rey going dark and Kylo coming back is that they should have already been almost switched by now.
Yeah,
they
it's too
already
late.
at some point when they were doing their little mental their mental gymnastics going back and forth with each other in
Last Jedi.
Some point it should have already been happening, and by the end of The Last Jedi, there should have been that moment where you didn't know where either of them were at mentally, but we didn't have any of that.
No.
Because the focus was all over the place by the end of that movie.
Ray had absolutely no character arc.
So again,
that whole movie of The Last Jedi.
So again, we're back to square one by this next film.
Yeah.
And we have 2.5 hours to redo a whole mess of bullshit, forget a whole other mess of bullshit ever happened in the last film that we had. So I don't know where this is going. I don't know how it's going to end. Again, not in the good way that I would like for it to go.
Right.
So, I mean, I'm still going to go see it, obviously, because I have to.
I hope it's at least better than The Last Jedi, and we have at least a solid conclusion. I mean, my expectations are back to low again once reality has set in.
I know they're going to try real hard. Well, they have to at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, even though Last Jedi wasn't a flop, but enough people hated it to where they have a lot of tweaking to do.
Yeah, they do.
They have a lot of shit that I mean, why would they have brought J.J. Abrams back in the first place?
Right.
You know,
it's true.
If they didn't,
that was panic mode right there.
Pretty much.
And it's interesting that you brought up earlier about you don't want to defend the prequels. Well, you're not alone. You are not alone.
Really?
There are so many people that are like, well, the Disney trilogy, they started out decent, and they fucked it up, and split the Star Wars universe to where they may not be repair worthy now. Like the Star Wars universe is, where are we going? What the fuck? Okay, we're back to square one. What is happening? That now we have more defenders of the prequels now. Now we have more defenders of George Lucas's episode 1 to 3 now in comparison to this Disney trilogy.
Well, for me, it's almost like the Predator versus...
I can't argue with it.
It's almost like the Predator versus Predators, where I don't care for either movie.
Right.
But when you compare them structurally, Predators makes more sense.
It's true.
Predators, from start to finish, is more of a film.
That's true.
It tells an actual story, and you know where it's going, and it makes it fucking sense.
Predators doesn't ruin the fucking lore of the Predators. Unlike in The Predator, that ruined the fucking reason they're badass and cool. Just destroyed all of that.
But as usual, we digress.
Oh my god. Anyway, that's another video. Hey, we did a review on it.
Yeah.
Watch our review of The Predator if you haven't already. Okay.
You want a good laugh.
Yeah, so that's what we think of Rise of Skywalker footage. Reality has sunk back in, and my expectations are low again. So hopefully, again, we will be pleasantly surprised. Now, speaking of pleasantly surprised, the fucking Mandalorian series on Disney Plus. We saw the trailer of that.
Yes.
That looks like This is what I mentioned earlier with that brief snippet of hope.
Yeah.
Visually of let's go off and meet new characters.
Yes.
Let's go off and experience new adventures, right?
Yes.
With good writing and good character development and badass action and all that good shit.
Yes.
The Mandalorian might be our cup of tea.
Yes.
That trailer looked amazing. Visually, it did not look like a cheap piece of shit. They just, well, it's Star Wars. They're coming to see the glowy sticks.
Right.
So let's get some cheap bootleg Batwoman budget, okay, and have a cheap sets. No, sets look good.
Yeah.
Costumes look good. We got actual real actors that can act.
Yeah.
In here. And I think Pedro's going to do a great job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Keep in mind, I'm not...
Visual, even the CGI special effects do not look cheap.
Yeah, keep in mind, me personally...
This looked better than Solo.
Oh, well...
But go ahead.
Keep in mind, I have nothing against people who love Boba Fett.
Yeah.
But I don't understand why people love Boba Fett so much.
Right.
Okay. I don't get it. I mean, but remember, I didn't grow up on... he looks cool.
Yeah.
And? Okay.
Well, apparently in the lore.
Okay, but...
With 5 billion magazines and comics and books.
If you just watch
he did not die in Return of the Jedi.
Only if you don't just watch the movies, then... If you go off and you read the books and this and that, okay. But, so I get it, but I don't get it. So I am not a fan of the whole...
Well, this is
No, I know it's not Boba Fett.
Yeah.
I know it's not Boba Fett, but you might think, well, I love Boba Fett, so yeah, I'm going to love the Mandalorian because he comes from all that, whatever.
The bounty hunter sect of Star Wars.
So this is not me... I have no attachment to any of that.
Right.
This legitimately just looks fascinating.
Yeah. And that's all it needs to do.
I've been wanting Star Wars to go off and do their own thing.
Yes.
Even though Rogue One was even though it was technically part of A New Hope.
Right.
It was a prequel, obviously. It was still its own thing.
Yes, it was.
And that's why I loved it so much.
Yeah.
And fucking everybody died, and it was like you couldn't have a better ending for that for me.
I would have to say, out of all of the Disney era Star Wars films that we have, Rogue One is the best.
It's my favorite.
Yeah, it's as of right now.
Yeah.
Rogue One is the best.
It's definitely my personal favorite
because they took risks.
Yeah.
And it had balls.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was off on its own little mission.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
And it's even though it was part of the original trilogy, it still kind of felt like its own thing.
It did for me.
Like you said.
Yeah, it did for me.
It felt like a one-off movie, a spin-off film.
Yeah, it didn't have to rely too heavily off of nostalgia because everybody.
I don't understand how some people are so disappointed with that movie. And they ragged on it so much. No, that's fine. To each his own. Yeah. If you don't like it, that's fine.
I mean...
I'm sure there's people out there that hate Empire Strikes Back and they think it's a piece of shit.
Oh, it's boring.
And that's perfectly fine.
Because they don't use
Just don't talk to me.
They don't use their lightsabers enough at Empire
Don't message me. Yeah, if that's how you feel.
They don't flip enough when they fight with their lightsabers, so it's boring.
Yeah. There's people out there that hate Empire Strikes Back because it's boring. Anyway, they missed the whole fucking point.
Anyway, it's fine. Anyway.
But yeah, I mean, it felt different.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked Rogue One.
Yeah.
It played with nostalgia. The Darth Vader scene, we all orgasmed.
Yeah.
But it didn't rub it in your face that much, the nostalgia part.
Yeah.
Remember this? Remember this? Remember this?
Yeah.
Remember this? It wasn't the whole entire fucking movie.
Yeah. And again, that's why I've been wanting Star Wars to be able to go off, and that's the one thing that this new trilogy has not been able to do. It's not allowed itself to do it. And so this, the Mandalorian, is basically what I've been wanting.
Yes.
You're still in the Star Wars universe.
Yes.
You're well within the lore.
Yeah.
But you are just off doing your own thing. People can die. People can get fucked up.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Right.
You know, it looks great. Like you said, it doesn't look cheap. I'm very, very, very tempted to drink the Kool-Aid and pay for the subscription. I'm about.
Might have to.
I'm about 2 more shows away after hearing about Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I'm close.
Right.
Because Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm not gonna lie, those two together.
Right.
I love
So
them.
you're done with the future of MCU in terms of films.
Because my characters are gone.
No, I'm just saying.
Yes,
But
because
you-
my characters are gone. Captain America is gone.
Right. But
Winter
you don't mind.
Soldier is gone. Everybody's gone. Like they don't have any more future movies.
Right.
They're not involved anymore. Vision's dead.
But you're excited about the TV version of
If
the character.
Sam and Bucky are in a show together, abso-fucking-lutely, I will be there.
Yeah.
I love those two together. They were cracking me up in Winter Soldier and Civil War. Oh my god. Well, not
Civil
Winter Soldier,
War.
in Civil War. Yeah.
Civil War, yeah.
They had the unspoken nice
Yeah.
head bobbing scene when Sam
Cat was with his girl.
was kissing the blonde.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
my god.
They're gonna be fun together. They're gonna be fun together. But yeah, there's that show and the Mandalorian, so we might
have to give
We
in.
might have to give in.
Give in.
At least give it a shot for a while, and if it goes to shit, like Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Fuck Game of Thrones.
Oh, did you
Yeah,
know that?
I just want to throw that in there.
Did y'all know that Game of
Yeah,
Thrones had a
fuck Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones had a shitty ending, and,
Yeah.
and Phat Samurai hates it with a passion. Now, anybody who wants a free copy of any of the early Game of Thrones Blu-rays, he might be in the.
We'll see. We'll
It's
see.
just-
Oh God. Anyway, enough with that season 8 bullshit of Game of Thrones. Now we're gonna talk about Terminator Dark Fate.
yeah.
That's the name of it, right? Uh-huh. Okay. All right. Another trailer reaction we didn't get a chance to do. I think a lot of people would have been pissed off with our reaction. But here's the thing.
Don't worry, you can still get pissed off right now.
Yeah, you get pissed off right now. Now, here's the thing. When we watched the first one, the first trailer for Terminator Dark Fate, it looked interesting. I was like, okay, look, I don't like the way that the new Terminator looks. Tijuan is what Angry Joe called him.
Wow.
I don't like the way he looks. He looks so generic. Oh God, I was dying for Robert Patrick so bad. I mean, come on, this is supposed to be the killer fucking robot. This is the killer fucking robot, man. Not somebody that works at fucking the post office or some shit.
The Geek Squad.
The Geek Squad. Yeah, I mean, now, I did appreciate this actor's work on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. when I used to watch the show. I haven't stuck with the show since his season, and that's because this actor played a different version of Ghost Rider. He did not play Johnny Blaze. But the character he played was interesting. Okay? He wasn't supposed to be a killer, badass robot. Alright? But when he transformed into Ghost Rider, that's when he became badass. So just because somebody transforms into a cool CGI character doesn't mean you cast that actor as being your killer fucking antagonist the whole movie. And yeah, he's CG enhanced, and that CGI did not look good. It did not look good when you would just see full body as the human form. The CGI did not look good. So anyway, first trailer, it looked interesting. It didn't really show us that much. It's always great to see Arnold back. I'm a huge Arnie fan, so of course I'm a sucker for that. So now we have arrived with the second trailer. Now, I would have to admit, it does look better than the first trailer. That was my reaction. Lady Phatblood's gonna tell you about. She's gonna tell her side of the story. But that was how. As soon as that trailer ended, I was like, okay, that looks a little bit better than the first teaser. And then reality again hit in.
Oh my god. Reality is hitting you like a
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong. There's so many people out there that are so fucking excited for this movie, and that's perfectly fine, guys. Because at this point, they set the bar so fucking low with all these disappointing sequels and reboots and prequel bullshit with Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis. They set the bar so low, there's no other place to go but up. And so, I think that's what it is. I think everyone's just like, Jesus Christ, those last Terminator movies are so bad. They've ruined the franchise. They killed everything. We need to do like Halloween and do a what if and erase all these fucking bad sequels, reboots, prequels, and let's start over. And this sequel's the second Terminator film. Okay? And so I think that's what it is. Nostalgia. Here's Arnie. Nostalgia. Here's Linda Hamilton reprising her iconic role of Sarah Connor. It's great to see her. She's a fucking badass. And I think that's why people are excited, and that's perfectly fine. I got more excited earlier when I found out that, again, this is rated R. That's so... Oh my God. What was the last rated R Terminator movie we had? Was it 3? If 3 was R, that was a soft R.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah, that was a soft R. So, anyway, I think Terminator Salvation was PG-13, but they released an unrated bullshit version.
Yeah, it was one of those, yeah.
Anyway, back when rated R movies were badass, Terminator 1 and 2 days, it's playing off our nostalgia. I'm happy it's R-rated. And they did show us a little bit more just to see what's going on here. But reality has set in again, and watching it again. And Lady Phatblood, go ahead.
Oh, God. All right, let the hate train go running. Yeah, the first trailer, I didn't really think much of it. I don't like the new design of the new Terminator.
Tijuan.
Yeah, I don't like him in his skeletal form. I think he's ugly. And I think that's one of the things about...
It's boring and generic, man.
Well, I mean, like the actual skeletal form.
Yeah,
like, that's one of the things about the original Terminator is that he's always been terrifying but beautiful by design. And he looks disgusting. I hate it. And I'm not going to lie. I had the worst feeling the first time I saw the trailer for Genesis. I had a bad feeling about it, and I have close to the same feeling about this, and I was right about Genesis.
Right.
And, again, I went in not expecting anything from Genesis, and I was still sickened and disappointed by it. So I'm going in with this not expecting anything. The second trailer did absolutely nothing for me, except it pissed me off about how irrelevant we're making Sarah Connor.
Nothing she did matters.
Apparently. That's what it's feeling like.
Yeah.
I know they're going to be going through a lot of retconning gymnastics to attempt to make all of this make sense. I get it. We always postpone Judgment Day. That was half of the fucking plot of Terminator 3. So we're basically rehashing plots from movies that we're trying to forget about.
Right.
Okay, fine.
Not just Terminator 3.
Sure, great.
Terminator Salvation.
Yeah, that's the point. Well, the thing with Terminator 3 was that they postponed it, and then it still happened.
Right.
Like Terminator 2, they postponed it, but by the end of Terminator 3, it happened anyway.
It was inevitable.
And so Terminator 4, it happened already. And so, okay,
but
fine.
But no, the whole, the new protector of generic girl number 5... Mm-hmm. in the movie. Mm-hmm. She says the same exact shit that Sam Unworthington said in Terminator Salvation. I am human, I'm not. It's the same shit.
Except he really was a Terminator. He just didn't know.
I'm just saying it sounds familiar.
Does. You're right, it does. Except she allegedly is just robotically enhanced. Oh, okay, so in the future we've got scrappy human rebels fighting Skynet, but we can robotically enhance them now. So why don't we just do that to all of them now?
She's probably the only one they could have made.
How convenient.
Yes.
That's really... I'm sure we're going to have a great explanation why.
The only one they could send back in time.
And they had to do it to a 98-pound skinny bitch? Okay. We couldn't do it to someone...
Gina Carano?
We couldn't do it to someone who looked like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, am I being sexist? Oh, what, women can't fight? Okay, fine.
Gina Carano.
Fine.
Someone.
Whatever. Fine. Okay. anyway, it's just when I heard.
But there's more convincing badass female actresses out there.
Yeah, there are.
Or martial artists.
No, there are.
Something.
But when I first heard that they were making another Terminator film and they were scrapping Genesis because they knew the dumpster fire on that one didn't work. and they were bringing back fucking Linda Hamilton, I wasn't excited.
Yeah.
I was sad.
Yeah.
And you got to remember, I love Linda Hamilton. I grew up watching her on various things when I was little, and I adore the woman, and this just makes me sad that they pulled her out of retirement for this. I don't care how much money she's making. I mean, good for her. Put her kids through whatever. I don't care. But I mean,
we're still gonna go see it.
Of course we are. Because we're morons. Of course we're gonna go see it.
Well, you know, as bad as Genesis was, the light at the end of the tunnel was again Arnold. He was really the only reason to watch that film. He was the only entertaining aspect to the movie.
So here's my question.
Okay.
Okay. So the first cut of the first trailer that we saw, it made it look like Linda or Sarah was taking them to somebody who could help.
Okay.
And it made it look like she was taking them to Arnold. Okay. That was how the first trailer was cut.
Okay.
Well, in this one, they just show up at his cabin, and then she goes to try to shotgun him to death.
I was confused by that.
Okay. Now, here's my question.
Okay.
Are they gonna pull the fucking Salvation or... No. Which movie was it? Refresh my memory.
I'll try.
Which movie was it where they reprogram the T-800 and it's Terminator 3.
Okay.
It's Terminator 3.
Right.
Because it's Terminator 3 because they Skynet gets a hold of the same model that looks just like the one that got sent back in time to
They had the relationship with John. Right.
And so John, adult John, freaks out and trusts him for a second, and then he kills John Connor in the future.
Right.
John Connor's wife reprograms him, sends him back into the past to protect him and do whatever.
Yeah, that was Terminator 3.
So, are you telling me that they do that same shit here, and that's the same Terminator that kills John Connor now? Are they pulling that? Because why did she go to shoot him?
I was going to ask you that.
Why did she shoot him? Because by her perception, he was a good guy by the time he died at the end of Terminator 2.
Yeah, and...
So did they pull that where he went back in time and shot John Connor and she didn't kill him?
I guess we're going to have to find out.
We're going to be doing some amazing gymnastics in this film. I'm telling you. And I know this movie went through some colossal reshoots too.
Oh no.
It did. So we're going to have a real fun click and paste on this film.
Director of Deadpool, what did you do?
I'm just telling you. It's
going to be
an interesting ride.
I was kind of confused why she was trying to kill him, because maybe you're onto something. Maybe he is the one that kills John.
So again, we're going back to Terminator 3 plot points. Again, this is speculation.
Yeah, it's like if she, not just reacting to shoot him because what I'm trying to say is he got dropped in the
steel,
right, the steel mill, and just terminated himself, right?
Yes.
So, if anything, she should be like surprised to see him. Like, what are you doing still alive?
Even though in the first cut, she knows he's obviously.
Oh, don't forget about the line too.
Which one?
Later in the trailer, she tells him, "You know, when this is all over, I'm gonna have to kill you, right?"
So
and he goes,
"I
am completely okay with that."
That's what I'm saying. It's almost like, because we know Edward Furlong in some capacity is showing up, and we know he's gonna die. We know John Connor dies.
Yes.
We know this.
Because he's
all
not...
All the plot leaks have happened.
Right.
We know this. That's why we have the new young girl.
Yeah.
That is the new future.
Generic girl number 5.
That's the new future of the savior of the planet, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
We know this. Right. So that's my theory and that's why we have now a new old Terminator, is that we went through Terminator 3 logic where they programmed another T-800 Arnold model, sent him back, killed young John Connor, I guess.
Kind of makes sense.
But for some reason, Sarah didn't kill him. He somehow escapes and lives his life out in the woods now and becomes old because he can grow old because his skin is real.
He retired.
I guess.
He retired in Big Bear.
Oh my god, this is going to be fascinating. You know what? Fuck it. This is going to be the most fascinating film of 2019. I take it back. Fuck you, Joker. Fuck you. Your intrigue has got nothing on the mental gymnastics
Oh shit!
that will have to be provided to watch this movie in Terminator Dark Fate.
But back to not doing a trailer reaction for the film.
Yeah.
I didn't get the script done yet on how to react for all the moments in the film. So I'm just letting you know that's why we didn't do one, because I didn't get a chance to sit down and write every single script reaction to everything. So.
That's fine. I understand. That happens.
But anyway, so reality has set in. Again, expectations are low for this new one.
I'm expecting a ride.
What I don't want, which probably will happen, is if we just shit on the first two films and ruin what was special about the first two films.
And that's why my investment always ends after part 2.
Now, here's the defenders of this movie, and it's okay, guys. If you guys are excited and you defend this, and you're huge fans of Avatar, it's fine, okay, to each his own. But the defenders of the film is that James Cameron is back. James Cameron is writing the story. James Cameron and blah, 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 blah. Okay, that's the thing. But quote what he said when Terminator Genesis came out.
I will also hearken you back to when Terminator Genesis came out, where James Cameron was quoted. I will be paraphrasing this, but he was basically saying that he has not felt in these last two sequels that they were in the spirit of Terminator. This movie, Terminator Genesis, actually feels like it is back in the Terminator spirit. So he was basically backing and supporting Terminator Genesis. Yeah, is what it was.
Basically, he was very positive about the plot.
He was of Genesis. He was defending it. He was endorsing it.
James Cameron was basically defending the plot and the story of Terminator Genesis. So just remember that, guys. This happened, okay? And he's attached to this project, but there's a whole other names there too when it comes to story by. I don't know if you noticed that in the trailer. No. We'll get the credits. Story by James Cameron, and then blah da 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 da.
Oh, that's always a fantastic.
Yes.
Line. Oh, yes. Great.
And I hate to be a Debbie Downer again, but James Cameron hasn't made a good movie since True Lies. I'm sorry. I will take The Abyss over Avatar any day. But that's just our personal opinion. But you can't. This is nostalgia. This is nostalgia. We cannot be fooled by this.
Yeah.
We have to set our expectations low. We have to.
Yeah.
Just so we're not shattered when we go into this. Unless you're going to see it now just to see how bad of a dumpster fire it is.
I'm going into this with Terminator Genesis eyes.
Okay.
Where I already, again, when I see a trailer. Like I said, when I first saw the trailer for Genesis, I had this terrible feeling just because the concept alone was just like, ooh, I don't like this at all. I had the same feeling when I saw the trailer for Venom, when I saw the trailer for The Predator. I had the same feeling with all those movies, and unfortunately, I was pretty much correct on all of them.
Yeah.
And
did you have that same feeling for Alien Covenant, or you actually was looking forward to that one?
I had
I
had my trepidations about Alien Covenant because it was reminding me too much of Alien. Mm-hmm. And it's like, I wanted a sequel to Prometheus.
Yeah.
I didn't want a sequel to I didn't want something going more towards Alien.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I actually wanted more something in the Prometheus vein, and I forgot fuck Prometheus. That movie doesn't matter anymore.
Well, they fucked that franchise up too. So Aliens fucked.
No, it's all done.
Predators fucked.
None of it matters. And now Disney owns them both, and so now it really doesn't matter. Disney has become the empire, like they always wanted to. And pretty soon we'll all be owned and sponsored by Disney, and we won't be able to say fuck anymore because that's not family friendly.
Oh, but anyway, yeah. So we're still gonna see the film. We're still gonna give it a shot, just out of curiosity. But our expectations are low. All right, next up is Dolemite is my name, and they got a biopic movie on Netflix is my game.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I just saw the trailer.
Yes.
And it looks adorable.
Right.
I'm looking forward to this.
Yes, it looks like, I don't know how many years has gone by since Pluto Nash.
Oh, man.
Maybe during Pluto Nash.
Oh, sweet Jesus. Hey, guess what?
I know. You saw that in theater.
I was
a guy took Lady Phatblood on a date.
It was not supposed to be.
This is before me. It's before I came around.
It wasn't even supposed to be a date because Lady Phatblood. Fun fact: Lady Phatblood's an idiot, and Lady Phatblood doesn't know when people are interested in her. And so yeah,
I know this. No, just kidding. I'm kidding. Oh, boom!
So this guy like just asked me to go check out something at a mall, and then it turned into dinner.
Yeah.
And then, oh hey, you want to go check out a movie after dinner? And I'm like,
yeah,
sure, I'm not doing anything. What's playing? Oh, well, this thing called Pluto Nash. I'd never heard of Pluto Nash. Didn't have cable at the time. Had never seen. I was also working. And at the time, I just wasn't watching a lot of TV.
Yeah.
So I never heard of Pluto Nash. And oh my God.
That's another review.
Randy Quaid.
Yeah.
Jeez,
That's another video.
I had never felt so sad for an actor in my entire life. So embarrassed. Oh my God, that was an experience. And then I was at the Ontario Mills Mall.
Yeah.
And we were parked. You know how big that mall is.
Yeah.
That whole shopping center.
Yeah.
Well, I got to walk from the theater by myself at 10 o'clock at night, all the way back to my car by myself. That's how well the date went. Just so you know. Yeah, it didn't go
anywhere. What an asshole.
It didn't go anywhere.
So what?
That's what I'm saying. It didn't go anywhere.
He should have at least been a gentleman and walked you to your car.
That's what I'm saying.
You weren't being a bitch to him.
Didn't go anywhere.
Wow. Pluto Nash. There you go, folks. Pluto Nash was that bad. It ruined future relationships. To my benefit. All right.
No, my casual, not even noticing if he was even interested in me is what ruined that. But anyway.
Still, he could have been a gentleman.
He was a foot shorter than I was, so he didn't have a chance. I was going to protect myself in that situation.
Still, he did. All right. The benefits of podcasts, guys. You're going to hear all kinds of stories.
God, anyway.
Still, he could have been a gentleman and walked you to your car.
Oh, my
all
God.
Right.
Anyway.
All right. So anyway, a lot of people assume that the beginning of the end for Eddie Murphy was Pluto Nash. That was when the downward spiral happened with his career. Woof. And it was nothing but bombs, and it wasn't looking too good. And it does. And I would like to create this. It's called Bruce Willis. What am I trying to say? Bruce Willis
ism or syndrome.
Syndrome. Okay. Yes, I'm gonna create this. And don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of early Bruce Willis's work.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis decided to stop acting after Looper.
Even though he still continues to make movies to this very day.
Yeah, Looper was the last movie he said, I'm going to put on a good performance. Yeah, so Eddie Murphy got Bruce Willis syndrome and decided to not give a shit in all his movies after Pluto Nash. But, again, the light at the end of the tunnel, out of nowhere, we get this Netflix movie, Dolemite, based off of it's a biopic based off the comedic, or some would say failed comedian at the time that decided to take a huge risk and make movies, and now all of his movies are cult classics. The original Dolemite, the character he created, he made a movie off of that, and then to spin off into Petey Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law, and The Human Tornado, and Disco Godfather. And at the time, I got a story for you guys. Many, many, many years ago, I guess at the time back then, people enjoyed my reactions to things, I guess. Because the cranky critic and his friend Thomas decided to torture me. It was like, let's torture Samurai today. And so we go to the video store, they rent some movies, and they came back to the pad, and they popped in a movie called Petey Wheatstraw and The Devil's Son-in-Law. Or The Devil's Son-in-Law. And starring Rudy Ray Moore. And they put it in, and they knew it was bad. That's why they rented it. They wanted to torture me. And I was like, what the fuck is this? Like, I'm watching this movie like, what is this horribleness? This is trash, garbage, what is this? And they were having the time of their lives because they were watching me and laughing at me being in pain and suffering through this movie. Little did I know that I was watching something genius. It took a couple of years later when my brother-in-law, who was a huge fan of Rudy Ray Moore, sat down and showed me the movie Dolemite. And then I got it. I didn't get it at first, but then I finally got it. It's supposed to be bad. The kung fu's supposed to be garbage. And there's some legitimate actual comedy in there. Like, oh my God, this is hilarious. I don't know if you guys know this, but the Old Dirty Bastard, rest in peace, his one of his music videos that used to premiere on MTV had footage of Dolemite in there. And that was kind of like the first time I noticed scenes from that movie. He was splicing in clips from that movie. So Dolemite has a huge fan base. Rudy Ray Moore, cult classic, and that's what this movie's about. It's a biopic on Rudy Ray Moore's career, and for the first time ever, I don't see Bruce Willis syndrome in Eddie Murphy. He looks happy to be there. He looks happy to act. And we got some other big names in here. We got Wesley Snipes in here.
Yeah.
Some Snoop Dogg.
Deciding to act too.
Yeah, Wesley Snipes deciding to act. Another guy. Yeah, so it looks like a lot of fun. If we get a chance, we might do a review. We'll see. But highly recommend you guys watch the film. And if you're curious of the type of comedy Rudy Ray Moore brought, watch Red Letter Media's Petey Wheatstraw, The Devil's Son-in-Law review, and you could see the reactions and see their review. Just see parts of the film, and you'll get it, and you'll get it instantly. It took me a long time to get it, but
better late than never.
Better late than never. All right. Here's some movie news that Lady Phatblood is really excited about. The fourth Matrix film. Her favorite franchise.
Oh my God. We don't need to go there.
Leo, I'm sorry. No, I know you're listening.
We don't need
It's okay.
this,
all right.
We've already gotten enough hate from me. It's fine. I don't need to add to this.
All right. I don't really have that much to say. The only thing I have to say is why not? Why not? Okay? I own all three movies and Animatrix, and the first Matrix film I will defend, and it's still a great movie. The second movie, here's another story for you guys. Matrix Reloaded. Was one of the longest lines I ever stood in. I think Batman Forever was the longest movie line I stood in. More than Transformers 1. Batman, I know, right? Batman Forever was the longest line I ever stood in. But Matrix Reloaded was the second longest. And I remember seeing fanboys in the line with me, and they had magazines, and they were I'm not making this up. One of the boys was holding a magazine and clutching it, hugging the magazine, because he was that much of a fan.
The magazine?
The magazine, there was a Matrix, it was like a sci-fi magazine, talking about Reloaded. And he's reading it and talking to his friends, and he was so excited. And I saw him hug it.
Oh.
He was like, oh. Yeah, this happened. And it's fine. They're just huge fans.
Okay.
It's fine. I just want to tell you guys that's what I experienced. Matrix Reloaded was probably the first time where I was really looking forward to a sequel. And I almost screamed out. If you guys know Phat Samurai Guy, I'm very respectful in the movie theater. I'm not an asshole. I'm not a dick. I don't talk and be loud and be a dick and just be a dick. Okay? I'm very respectful. Now, Matrix Reloaded was the first time where I was in a movie theater and I wanted to scream out loudly so that everyone could hear what the fuck is going on. I never experienced that feeling before. And it was during that fucking Neo talking to fucking Colonel Sanders looking character. And I was just like, this scene is too long, and what are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Right? Maybe I'm too dumb. I don't know, but I'm just saying that experience. The first Matrix film was very easy to follow. I think the Wachowski brothers / sisters, whatever they are now, I think they were too ambitious. I think they had too many ideas. I think they could have scaled it back a little bit, okay? But there's huge fans of Matrix Reloaded. And I will and the franchise in general. And I will give Matrix Reloaded this credit. The fight choreography was really good. The staircase fight sequence was really, really badass. But the end finale action sequence on the freeway, even though I wanted to scream out, what the fuck is happening, I had to take a breath at the end of that freeway action sequence from beginning to end. Because it's amazing. And if you watch that, still to this day, it is just like a holy shit, wow, I can't believe they did this back then. And so if you guys haven't seen it, if you're not interested in the franchise, at least watch that action sequence, because even though it's a lot of CGIs in there, if you watch the behind the scenes footage, there was a lot of real car stunts, a lot of practical effects were used, and that's why that sequence is breathtaking. So the movie, for me, at least has that. Matrix Revelations?
Isn't it Revolutions?
Revolutions. It's been a long time, guys. It's been years. That was another disappointment. Visually, had some cool shit in there. CGI sequences were fine. You get cool big mechs, and it's the closest thing to live action anime, I guess. That looked nice. But the ending to the story was so dumb. I was so dumb. Like, oh, okay, we could obliterate humankind and mankind, but we're not going to. The evil machines, the AI, we're not going to. The aliens. What we're going to do is we're just, thank you, Neo, the chosen one, for getting rid of the evil virus, Agent Smith, for us. Thank you for doing that. So what we're going to do is we're not going to kill you guys today. Nothing stopped them. Nothing can stop them from killing mankind tomorrow or finish what they started. But that's how the movie ended. Like they pick up Neo, they transport him somewhere. He's the antivirus to the Agent Smith virus. It was just like, what? You don't remember any of this, do you?
I do.
I'm just saying, I was disappointed.
I'm keeping quiet.
I was disappointed in the theater.
I'm giving the people what they want.
Anyway, I was disappointed, okay? Maybe I'll revisit it one day, but I was disappointed, okay? It just felt like so rushed. We gotta end it. Let's rush the fucking saga, whatever.
I also remember a certain female dying at the end who's magically coming back in this fourth film, but that's none of my business.
Trinity? Wow, I completely forgot she died.
She got impaled. She fucking got
That's
impaled.
how much I remember this trilogy, guys. I forgot Trinity died.
Neo got blinded. He lost his eyes.
I remember blind Neo.
And he blindly made his way over to her, and she was fucking impaled with those rods.
Yeah, right.
And she died right there with him. But that's
the
not
alien
my
machines.
Not my business.
Brought her back as a favor to Neo. Anyway, I say why the fuck not for Matrix 4, because one, I'd rather have a sequel than a reboot. And I remember many years ago there was talks of a Matrix remake / reboot, and I thought that was the worst idea ever. Nobody gives a shit about a Matrix reboot. So let's sequel it. Fine. And another reason why I say why the fuck not is because Keanu Reeves is the fucking man now. He has revitalized his career. We love the John Wick films. Physically, he could still do the action, even though he's up there in age. And of course, they can CGI enhance some shit if they need to. But I'm just saying, physically, he'll be fine. But again, will the story be interesting? So we'll have to wait and find out. And Lady Phatblood is pointing at her tongue right now. So, that's my thoughts on Matrix 4. Why the fuck not? Now, something we're actually both really interested in. This Mortal Kombat movie that's coming out. Yes. I don't know a lot of the cast that's been casted as some of the characters now. I know there's a Liu Kang. There's a lot, there's a Jax, I think. There's Sonya Blade. I'm not too familiar with their work. But two huge things stood out. One is the badass Joe Taslim as Sub-Zero, which is perfect casting. And if you're unfamiliar with Mr. Joe's work, check out a movie on Netflix called The Night Comes for Us. Yes, Or you can check out our movie review on the Movie Dojo on our YouTube channel. But The Night Comes for Us is fucking brutal, badass. It's the way action movies are supposed to be. Okay?
If you're sadistic.
If you're
Which we are.
If you want an extreme action film, okay? It depends on what you're looking for. But he's badass, and he's perfectly casted as Sub-Zero. And then a new reveal, one of our favorites. We've been fans of this actor for so long, and it's not just that he's a phenomenal actor, okay? The first Japanese to star, in a Broadway show with non-Japanese cast, okay? Because he's that good, okay? It's not just because he's a fantastic actor, but I don't know, he's one of Sonny Chiba's martial arts students?
It's not that he's a hot old man.
Oh, Lady Phatblood got a crush. You got a crush. Anyway, Henry Sonata, badass martial art actor, has grown to become a real straight-up dramatic actor. Fantastic talent this guy is. And even though he's up there in age a little bit, he has been casted as fucking Scorpion. Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Bizarre casting choice, but I am not going to argue.
Yeah.
Made an odd little, quick cameo in Avengers Endgame. We were not expecting.
Oh, yeah. Fighting
out of nowhere.
Hawkeye / Ronin character in Avengers Endgame. That was fun. But yeah, Henry Sonata he's the shit.
Now, do we have a director locked in, or is this one of those?
I have not got a chance to look into. I will, but I haven't got a chance to really dive deep into this. But you know why? Because there's been so many. We're doing a Mortal Kombat movie. No, we're not.
Yeah.
We're doing a Mortal Kombat movie. No, we're not. So I was just kind of like, I don't really want to look into it yet until we really get things going. But
until there's
the fact that we're actually getting a cast already,
it's almost like it's
a good sign.
Until they're 6 weeks into filming, I don't even want to. Right? Because I was just gonna say that it seems like Mortal Kombat has been in development hell almost since Annihilation came out and killed the franchise.
And they tried with these, the Mortal Kombat Legacy shorts, and some of those were a lot of fun, and some of them were better than others. But they tried to create buzz with those, but it just wasn't enough. But I'm not positive. Maybe James Wan is producer. He's involved somehow. Maybe that's what got things rolling. Finally.
Yeah.
But it better be fucking rated R. It better be rated R, man. We've been waiting for a rated R Mortal Kombat for years.
I know, but I think that might be too wishful.
Well, if it's not rated R, that'll be huge. That'll be really disappointing. But as long as it's a good fucking movie with badass fight sequences, of course I'm going to be there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Henry Sonata as Scorpion. Yeah. So that's a little movie news for today. In terms of what's coming out and trailer talking. That's right. Now we're going to talk a little bit about some of the movies we recently just watched. I'm going to talk about a movie called The Shootist. Old school. And we just lost everyone right now. Yeah. Old school John Wayne Western. And what I didn't know, when he did this, he was really, really up there in age. And what I didn't know was he died after that movie. Like, that was his last film. And what's not necessarily creepy, but what's interesting and kind of interesting about the film while I was watching it was that his character in the movie was dying, and he had the cancer. That's what they call in the movie, the cancer. And he's a gunfighter, so he's kind of got a little bit of a celebrity, and he comes into town to visit his old friend Jimmy Stewart, who played the doctor in the film. And he checks him out. He has the cancer, and he knew he only had maybe like a month left. So, interesting characters in the film. Basically, he's just kind of just waiting to die. But he wants to wrap up a few loose ends. And we have this gunfighter duel between some of his rivals at the end of the film. And it was a very good movie. There was some comedy in there. You got young Clint Howard. I'm sorry. Young Ron Howard. Yeah, young Ron Howard playing the starstruck celebrity gunfighter. Oh, I want to be just like you, kind of thing. And what's interesting at the end is, I could spoil the movie for you guys. What's interesting at the end of the movie was after the duel. Well, before that, John Wayne brings up the fact that his character tells Ron, "You don't want to follow down my footpath of being a gunfighter. This is not the glamorous life you think it is." And he goes, "Guys like us, we can shoot anything. We're like experts. But guys like us in the life we leave, we always get it by getting shot in the back by some nobody." And I thought that was interesting that his character said that, because that's pretty much what happens at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
He takes out the two badass gunfighters that's in there, just either 2 or 3 in there in the saloon, and he wins. He's injured, but he wins, and he walks out, and the bartender comes out of nowhere with a rifle and shoots him in the back. And that's how his character dies. And Ron Howard grabs his gun, John Wayne's gun, and shoots the bartender. And then you have this scene where he's looking down at the gun like, "Oh shit, I'm becoming the shootist. I'm becoming the gunfighter character." And then he looks at John Wayne. John Wayne looks up at him, and then he turns and throws the gun and chooses not to follow that route. And John Wayne kind of gives him a little wink and a nod, like, "Good boy," and then dies. And that's the end of the movie. So I thought it was a very, very interesting Western. It was a good Western. I'm more of a Clint Eastwood fan than a John Wayne fan, but I did enjoy the Searchers and the Cowboys, and there's definitely some good work with him. And the original True Grit, I enjoyed as well. So yeah, the Shootist was on my list to check out when I get in that mood to watch old-timey time westerns. And it was a good movie, very solid. But yeah, I thought that was fascinating that he died not too long after that film. But yeah, if you guys haven't seen The Shootist, even though I kind of spoiled it for you, go ahead and check it out. You could talk about The Exterminator 2 Uncut Edition, starring our boy Ginty.
Oh no.
Ginty.
Robert Ginty.
There you go, Robert Ginty.
Robert Ginty, he's the Gintiest. MST3K joke for those of you playing along at home. Okay, so yeah, we saw The Exterminator because Sexy Sumo recommended it.
Right.
And with its cover, with a guy featuring a flamethrower, we're like, oh shit, we can't go wrong with that. Yeah. Well, come to find out, he barely uses the damn thing, and we were really confused.
Yeah, we were.
So we look into it, we're like, holy shit, there's a sequel. And so you, immediately, started looking for it, and I think, did you buy it from one of the Germany websites?
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you bought it, and we just recently finally checked it out, and yeah, it was a lot better.
It was way better than the first one, in my opinion.
Come to find out, the movie had a whole mess of issues in terms of a whole bunch of it had to be completely reshot and re-edited. And I mean, we'll never know.
To actually make some sort of sense.
Yeah, we'll never know what happened, what exactly, if it was better the one way versus the other way. But the version we saw, which is what which is what they settled with, it was pretty coherent.
Yeah.
It was a lot more fun, a lot more violent.
Yes.
He uses his flamethrower a lot.
A lot. Yes, which was appreciated.
It's still ridiculous and
canon films.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's gloriously canon. Mr. Ginty showing some personality in this one.
Yeah.
I would have to say this is probably the most animated I've seen him, especially compared to the first.
His acting performance was way better than the first Exterminator. He was just kind of mute and quiet, and this is me the whole movie. In this movie, he had a love interest that doesn't go well.
Of course.
You have the gang members led by Mario Van Peebles,
right.
Called X. Mm-hmm. And behind the scenes, you find out that they just didn't make in the script. he was just called X because they didn't have a villain name for him yet. And then they were like, okay, what are we finally going to call this guy? And he was like, oh, just call him X. So he ended up being X in the movie. But yeah, you got him flipping off vans, being over the top. And the gang members, kind of fuck up Ginty's girlfriend. And we don't want to ruin too much. But we get a lot of breakdancing gang member villains. A dude on roller skates.
We almost had Ginty breakdance, but I think he changed his mind at the last minute.
Almost had Ginty.
We were robbed. I think Ginty made a mistake in not joining in, but it's too late. What
it was close. So we thought we were going to have Exterminator breakdancing.
Yes.
But in terms of acting performance, he really, really showed personality. And there was a scene in the film where him and his little sidekick capture one of the gang members to get information to find out where the hideout is. And he's really physically slapping the extra, the stuntman. Which I'm sure if it's a stuntman, they're badasses. I'm sure he agreed to that. He's like, come on, Ginty.
Possibly, yeah.
Because they don't do that. You got to get their permission. You gonna sock me really hard? Yeah, let's make it look real. But he's really slapping this guy. Yeah. But his acting. Yeah. He's like just ferociously pissed. Yeah. And you believe it. Yeah. In a movie from Cannon Films with breakdancing gang members on roller skates.
From a director that could not make decisions about anything to save his life, and so on a whim called his main villain X.
Yeah.
The director literally didn't know what he was doing. So, Ginty really...
That scene, I was like, I believe this is real. Like, I believe his performance right here, which was unexpected.
And he had his sidekick showed up kind of out of nowhere at one point.
He was in the military, too. He had a military background.
He just became a secondary character. And what I really enjoyed about him was that as soon as he found out what was going on... Like, he just joined in on the antics with Ginty. Like, he didn't, because he started it, too. Yeah. Like, technically, what happened to the girlfriend was kind of his fault, because
That's true.
He stopped the gang members with his truck, and then Ginty was driving his truck, and then the gang members followed him.
I didn't even think about that. That's true.
But, honestly, they were all douches anyway. Yeah. But... as soon as he found out what Robert Ginty was doing that whole time, he just joined in on it. Like, he didn't even hesitate.
He finds out he's the Exterminator.
Yeah.
And he just joins in. He's like, fuck these guys.
So he has a henchman for a while. He has a helper, which was nice because it's nice to see him not be by himself for a while.
Sidekick, not henchman.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but yeah.
But like everything eventually doesn't go all that great. Of course. With everything,
but we have a nice unexpected finale in a big huge the hideout, and Ginty soups up the trash,
the dumpster
truck.
Dump truck, yeah.
Yeah, you got machine guns on it, missiles and all kinds of stuff.
Even though it turns into Stuntman Ginty.
Yeah, it's mostly Stuntman Ginty.
Because they had to refilm the entire finale in another state.
Right, because Ginty was off filming another movie.
And they wouldn't let him out of his...
It didn't make sense, but
it was studio politics.
Yeah. Still... It was entertaining.
It was
really entertaining. It was the first. I liked the first one.
The first one felt more like I appreciate it as kind of like a cult.
Yeah.
Even though this one is also more like a cult movie. Yeah. But this one is much more watchable.
Yes. Yeah. So if you're into, B action films, vigilante movies, especially from the '80s, because glorious '80s.
Oh yeah.
In this one, but pretty decent body count. Flamethrower action. Where else you gonna get a vigilante movie where the guy has a flamethrower? Right. So yeah, we recommend the Exterminator 2. You know what? I don't even think they need to watch the first one.
Not really.
No, they can go straight to this one. Really.
Not really, because it doesn't really. He's just a guy who's a vigilante.
But seeing him in this, Robert Ginty in this, he did deserve a lot better. And he did deserve more sequels. Yeah, we could have had like 10 Exterminator movies.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Especially if Charles Bronson can get like fucking 5 Death Wish films.
Yeah, 5 Death Wishes. And we are huge fans of Death Wish 3, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
If we haven't said that a billion times. But anyway, a movie I saw once many years ago when it came out, and I enjoyed it, and I had a lot of fun with it. I just now recently bought it on Blu-ray, and I showed Lady Phatblood the other day, and that's a movie called Lake Placid. Holy shit.
Oh, my God.
Going back.
Oh, my goodness.
Lake Placid.
Oh.
Was it 99 or 2000?
I think
it came out.
Oh God, I think it was 99.
It was I think it was 99.
I think it was 99.
Yeah.
Shit. But yeah,
fun creature feature.
Yeah, I'm gonna say obviously the practical effects are fantastic. There's liquor in there.
Oh, that's fine.
The practical effects.
Drinking vodka right now, guys.
Yeah, the CGI is awful.
CGI's dated, but I don't remember Stan Winston did the practical effects.
Yeah.
Of the crocodile.
Yeah, and it shows. It is they.
I was impressed.
Yeah, they built they built like a full size, for hero shots, and he did his thing because that's what Stan Winston did back in the day when we lost a really great talent.
Yeah, we did.
We lost an art. We lost an art form.
That's really and I like how you put that. We lost an art.
Yeah,
it's very rare with practical effects now.
Yeah, I mean
it's a rare thing.
Luckily, some people it still branches out, but it's just not. It's not
the number one go-to way to make a movie. They always go CGI first.
Yeah. The movie is not as bad as what I was expecting.
Right.
Bridget Fonda was, oh gosh, she was atrocious.
Bumbly.
She was supposed to be obnoxious. I get it.
Yeah. Mosquitoes. Oh.
I get that's what she was supposed to be.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be just absolutely irredeemably irritating. The whole fucking movie. But I get it. It's just the character she was playing. Okay, fine. But I was getting a kick out of Oliver Platt, and I can't remember the guy's name.
Brian Gleason.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was the sheriff, right? He was kind of the sheriff.
I thought Bill Pullman.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Pullman was like the ranger.
Oh, you're right.
Wasn't he like a sheriff? Wasn't he like the local?
Gleason was. He was the law, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
like
was
those
the
two
law.
ended up kind of having like a Spock and McCoy thing, kind of. They were actually a lot of fun together.
Yeah, the comedy really comes from them two, Oliver Platt and Gleason. But you get some legitimately funny moments, man, like the crocodile killing one of the Gleason's men. And the head just pops off and hits Bridget Fonda in the face.
Yeah.
And then she's like, damn it! Yeah. What is it with you and heads?
Yeah.
There's always heads getting thrown at her. It was really funny.
Yeah. It was not nearly as bad as what I was expecting.
Cliche. Copies Jaws, obviously.
I mean, it was a creature flick.
Yeah.
So it was I kind of found it entertaining. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything original, but I thought it was fun.
It was fun. And we want other people to watch this because it's a fun little creature feature romp, so we won't spoil it. But there's a lot of deaths in that area, and they bring in experts to find out what's going on. And we're not going to ruin why the crocodile is there, because there's not supposed to be the crocodile of that sort. It's not an alligator, is it?
No.
Okay. Crocodile of that sort, it's not supposed to be in those type of waters. But once they reveal why it's there, it's pretty damn funny. But another highlight of the movie is Betty White. She's another highlight.
Yeah.
So, if you guys have not seen, I know it's old school, but if you haven't seen Lake Placid, definitely go out and check it out and have your little creature feature night. I recommend that and The Relic. There you go. Double feature creature feature. Huh?
Can I?
Yes, I was getting ready to go there, but go ahead.
What?
I'm going to see where you're going, but I probably was going to do the same thing you're doing.
No, I was actually going to ask you something.
Oh.
If I could blindside you.
You're putting me on the spot.
Yeah,
Shit.
Can I blindside you?
No girls asked me on a date to see Pluto Nash.
No. Can we talk about the fact that I just recently showed you 1976's King Kong?
Oh, that was the other movie I wanted to talk about. And I totally forgot about that. Yes. So on Verbal Nectar podcast, future podcast, we like to talk about some movies we recently have seen for future podcasts. But yes, 1976 King Kong. Mm-hmm. Before we go into that, after having a lot of fun watching Lake Placid again, we were curious about the sequels.
Oh, no. No.
And I bought for $1 Lake Placid versus Anaconda, and we watched that right after and regretted it. It's a piece of shit garbage.
Instantly. But it gets worse.
It gets worse, and so we looked up the trailers for the Lake Placid sequels, and it's pretty much they're all bad.
They instantly went bad. Like after
so don't
the
bother.
first movie is literally the only one to watch.
Yep.
Because the second movie goes straight to sci-fi. And then the third movie is the same. And I think the third movie is what introduces the Yancey Butler character.
Yes.
The Witchblade girl.
Yeah.
And then she apparently becomes the franchise because she's in
all the sequels after that.
Yeah. Apparently.
Yeah.
I guess.
And one of the most recent, maybe the most recent Lake Placid film, I forgot the name of it.
Well, then there's the Lake Placid... Not Legacy, but maybe it is Legacy. I don't know.
One of the most recent ones, we watched the trailer and we're like, oh, wow, this actually looks like a movie.
Yeah.
Did we actually give a shit now?
No.
And then once they showed the crocodile, it looked worse.
It looked worse, yes.
Than the sequels. So we were like, whoa. Or at least about the same.
I think it may have looked worse because the footage actually, the movie itself looked good, whereas the other movies...
Yeah, it didn't look bad.
Other movies, the shitty footage was acceptable because the footage of the movies itself...
It was low budget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it made sense.
Yeah.
But anyway, King Kong. So you bought me, for some reason, America is ashamed of this film.
I don't understand.
And this is the Jeff Bridges...
Jessica Lange.
Jessica Lange, Dino De Laurentiis produced film that was basically, it was a remake of the original, but it was done modern. It was done with a modern twist as opposed to the Peter Jackson, which was a straight up homage remake.
To the old 30s.
Correct.
Right.
And the movie did well, but it, for some reason, just kind of slipped through the cracks, and it never got a Blu-ray release in the States. And so you bought it for me. It was released on Blu-ray in Japan.
Yeah, it's the only way to find it.
So, but luckily, a lot of discs will play on a PS4, or if you have an all-region player, like we do. And I was able to watch it, and I was expecting, because you know what? It's funny. I didn't grow up watching the original King Kong. I never saw the original King Kong until you showed it to me, probably 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. I saw the original Peter Jackson, not the original, I saw the Peter Jackson remake first.
Yeah.
And then, I want to say, I saw the original that you showed me.
Right.
But I do kind of have a soft spot for the film. Mm-hmm. I knew of the original, obviously. I think I saw Mighty Joe Young, the remake of that, the Charlize Theron remake.
Right.
The 90s. I saw that back in the 90s.
I remember that being fun.
I liked it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. But I saw that long before I saw anything. So maybe I just have a thing for big gorilla movies. I don't know. But so yeah, I loved the Peter Jackson film, and
it's not perfect, but it's well done.
But I understand the love for the original, and I understand the influence that it had. So when I had always heard nothing but bad things about the 76 one.
76 one.
So when I went to watch it, I was nervous. Because I had heard Jessica Lange was terrible, I heard the effects were terrible, I heard the movie was bad. And I was frankly surprised. Like, my first impressions were like, this movie is long and it's a little slow paced, but so is Peter Jackson's film.
Yeah.
And as far as Jessica Lange's character, my impression was that she was playing a ditzy actress.
Yeah, I was confused because you told me that she was almost like this was her first role. Mm. She was a model, I think. Mm-hmm. And they were kind of like after this performance in this movie, they were kind of saying that she was she was going to get blacklisted from Hollywood. You know, she was never going to find another job again, and she's not going to get work anywhere else because her acting was so bad. And then you told me that, and then when I watched the film with you, I'm like, she's supposed to play. This is the character she's giving. Mm-hmm. The character is this ditzy, clueless. Like her acting is fine.
Believes in astronomy, like in the signs. Like I'm a Pisces, and like I mean, she's all.
Well, tell her name.
Her actual name is Dawn, but she wants to make it memorable, so she switches the A and the W, so she calls herself Dwan.
Yeah, like that's the character.
Yeah.
She's desperate. She's an aspiring actress. She just wants to be famous.
Yeah.
That's it.
She's literally gets shipwrecked because some rich guy talks her into going onto her yacht so they can go to some place in Asia to get her into a movie, quote unquote.
Yeah, what kind of movie was that?
Exactly.
But there was an explosion, and she was saved because she sat at the top part of the ship.
She went up top because they were all down below watching Deep Throat.
Yeah, I thought she was upstairs watching Deep Throat.
No, they were down below watching Deep Throat, and she refused to watch.
Oh,
so she went up deck. So she was up above where she could actually jump off.
Okay,
that's how she was the only one that survived.
I missed that because I was laughing too much about her basically saying that she was saved by a porno. I was laughing too hard at that. But yeah, her acting was good. Mm-hmm. It's the character she was playing. You know?
Yep.
Jeff Bridges he was fun in the movie.
Yeah, he was supposed to be kind of like, he was this like professor, but he was also kind of like this environmentalist and all that. So I was a little hesitant to show you, but
you didn't think I was going to like it. Huh?
I didn't really know how you'd react because it's, like I said, it was slow and some of the effects are a little, you know.
Yeah.
But I thought for the time, when you keep it in context, I thought that the effects were pretty good, all things considered.
I was impressed that they went through the lengths they did. The mask creature effects of the mask, the guy in the gorilla suit, I thought it was good. I know the creator didn't like it; he hated it, but I thought it was fine. I mean, you get goofy faces here and there, but the fact that they made like full, large-scale arms and mechanical hands and fingers that moved when they would grab her and all this stuff, and then they get what was the tall version?
It was like a 40-foot.
40-foot tall robot.
Yeah, they made like a giant, like full-sized that couldn't actually perform because it was too large.
Right.
But you can see in the very, very, very far away shots that you got a little bit of movement in the head, a little bit of movement in the hands.
I mean, that's a lot of fucking work.
There was no skimping out on the effects in this movie. And some of them, it's like some of the projection and all that, some of it looks a little hokey.
Yeah.
But I think all in all, the movie,
I enjoyed it.
I think for what they tried to do, it looks great.
I liked it, and I mean, some unexpected moments in the film was what made me like it. Like he has his little pet, which is the girl, and she hasn't been rescued yet, Jessica Lange, and he kind of washes her in the waterfall, and then he dries her off with his breath.
Yeah.
So you get big, huge con cheeks just blowing, and then she's like getting dry, and I'm all like, this is hilarious but uncomfortable at the same time.
Yeah.
But then later in the movie, you get another part where these idiots are going after Kong with flamethrowers, and they're trying to shoot Kong with flamethrowers, and he picks up, what was that, a big, huge gas?
Whatever was on top of the building.
Yeah, on top of a building, he throws this huge object, and it completely explodes, and he kills those flamethrower guys.
Yeah,
and then Jeff Bridges was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Dude, that was great."
Yeah,
I was not expecting Khan to blow people up who had flamethrowers.
Yeah.
So I was entertained.
Yeah, and surprisingly, very, very gory end for him too.
Yeah.
When the when the choppers come in.
Yeah, that was bloody as all hell.
They destroy the hell out of him.
Yeah, they had Gatling guns on their helicopters.
Yeah, and
dude,
this was the first time, obviously, where the lady character is completely sympathetic to the gorilla, obviously, because in the Fay Ray version, the RKO version, all she does is scream and cry and kick and be annoying in that version. And in this version, Dwan does actually care for Kong, and she begs him to hold on to her because she knows that the choppers won't shoot him. Yeah. Which, of course,
I think they would have shot him anyway.
Well, they kept saying she's in the way, don't do it. So they weren't. They actually weren't. Oh, yeah. But so that was a really sad touch. And there's that beat where he, just before he falls off, they have that moment where they see each other, and then you have that really awkward moment where he falls down from the World Trade Center. Of course, this takes place on top of one. Yeah. It starts off on one tower, and then he jumps from one tower to the other tower. And then that's where he gets shot. And then he falls. And then you have the shot where he's on the ground and suddenly Jessica Lange teleports down from the World Trade Center down to where he is on the ground. Yeah. Just before he dies. But you have that really sad moment where you can hear his heart slowly beat, and then it finally stops. Yeah. We will not talk about the sequel.
Oh, God.
Which did not happen 10 years later, made by the same exact director and producer. God. Which did not happen. It didn't happen.
I was curious about it, so I convinced Lady Phatblood, let's find a review of the film. Mm. And we watched Dr. Wolfula's review of the sequel called...
Kong Lives? Or King Kong Lives?
King Kong Lives.
Oh, no he doesn't.
Oh, my God.
No, he doesn't.
If you guys are curious of the garbage... Oh. That is this movie. Watch that review from Mr. Dr. Wolfula. Woof. Yeah, and ironically, she finally at the end of the movie got her fame, but not the way she wanted
and
to.
She did, and it comes to find out she didn't want it. No. Like she gets it and she doesn't want it. You have that really awkward moment where
that was a little weird, but I guess that's the director's choice.
Yeah, you have this moment where her and Jeff Bridges keep going back and forth about how she keeps saying, "Do you want me? Because I'll give it all up." And he's like, "No, you don't. You wouldn't be able to. I can't afford you on my salary." And she's like, "Just say it, and I will." And then you have that she gets the fame, and she clearly is trying to get back to him, and he clearly could just force through the crowd and get her, but he just stops and he doesn't. Yeah. And you don't really know why he doesn't. And it ends like that. It's very strange, but. But all the reporters, and they're flashing their cameras on her, and she's the center of attention finally. Yeah. But not the way she wanted it. Yeah. So, but that was interesting. Yeah. But no, I don't know why they're ashamed of this film, because it doesn't make any sense. Think about this, guys. We have Peter Jackson's King Kong that came out, right? King Kong Buzz. We had the original when that movie was released. The original movie was re-released on Blu-ray. Mm. Okay. Out in front, by the original that's inspiring, Peter Jackson's. I did not see any Blu-ray or any DVD of the 1976 version out front. Mm. Okay? Peter Jackson's movie comes out on Blu-ray. You get the extended cut, comes out. Don't see that movie highlighted at all, the 76 version. Yeah. We get another King Kong movie. Another King Kong movie, after all these years, finally comes out, King Kong, or Kong Skull Island. Mm-hmm. I did not see anywhere King Kong 1976 version. If there's any time to milk the franchise or milk it, let's sell, these are the times, and I don't see it. And look, I had to go to Japan. Yeah. Japan website to find it on a bootleg Blu-ray. King Kong vs. Godzilla has had an American Blu-ray.
King Kong vs. Godzilla is getting a steelbook. Yeah. I'm wondering if but there's like no Kong 76.
I'm wondering if it's like a studio rights issue or something. Like maybe one studio actually owns it, but it's like in a gridlock here.
It's just very odd.
Maybe that's what it is.
It's just very strange. We're not seeing it anywhere.
Because I do remember somebody, I don't know if it was one of the special features on the Blu-ray, something about Universal, like King Kong, the story is in public domain.
Right.
The movie was in public domain, so anybody could remake it. But Universal was going to make their own version, but then De Laurentiis was working on his, but then there was like some kind of litigation.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. There was a lot of issues.
There was some kind of litigation, and so Universal dropped theirs, but
on
there
the
was
rights.
like the contingency or something. But I don't know.
It's just, it's very odd.
I have no idea.
Like, we couldn't even really find it digitally, right?
I don't know. We couldn't, because we tried to find it on Amazon, and they didn't have it.
It's just very odd why this movie is not everywhere to sell.
That's
During the times, it's time to sell.
Yeah.
It's time to shill. So, but yeah, we're going to talk about one more movie before we wrap it up for today on the podcast, and that's a movie that I did a trailer reaction on it. Once I got that script done to do, to react perfectly to things. I thought I wasn't super excited for it, but it looked like it might have a chance to being fun, and that's the movie Shazam!
What?
That we wanted to see in the theater this year and do a review, but work happened and we didn't get a chance to do it. But I was like, I heard good things about it, so I blind bought the Blu-ray. Bought the Blu-ray, and we recently just watched it.
Not even hesitantly, I just randomly popped it in.
Yeah.
I was just like, you know what, fuck it.
Yeah.
Let's just get it out. Let's just watch it.
Let's just watch it, yeah.
Just finally watch it.
Yeah, and sat down, and we had low expectations.
Yeah.
You're not a fan of the character.
Know very little about him.
Right. I'm a fan when the character shows up in comics and it's a big deal.
Because what I know about the character sounds kind of goofy.
Like Kingdom Come, when he showed up, it's like, holy shit, Or the DC animated movies, when Shazam shows up, a.k.a. Captain Marvel back in the day, but now he's Shazam. When he showed up, it's usually a big deal. But I was kind of familiar with the character. But while watching this movie with really low expectations, I would say maybe 30 minutes in, I was feeling odd. And the odd feeling I was feeling was, why am I enjoying this movie? I'm like, dude, I'm having fun.
Yeah.
What is this?
You literally start off the movie with Han Sao in a goofy ass white beard, long white, gray, grizzled Gandalf beard.
Yeah. He plays the wizard.
And you're like, what? Wait a minute, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
And that comes the fuck out of nowhere because you start off with this family in a car.
Right.
It's the kid and the older brother and the dad, and they're like bickering or whatnot, and then there's the accident, and then the kids and you're like, oh, Han Sao's, okay, he's Gandalf. What? What?
Yeah.
That's how the movie starts, and you're like,
yeah, he pulls what he comes to find. I can't talk right now. He pulls the kid from the accident because he has potential to be worthy of the power of Shazam. I mean, the wizard is getting old. He can only hold back the demonic creatures. I forgot what they were called in the movie.
They're the
entities.
They're the 7 deadly sins.
There you go, the 7 deadly sins. He can only hold them back for so long, and his power's getting weak, and he has to transfer it to a new
because there were 7
chosen
there
one.
were 7 of them,
right?
And now he's the last one,
right?
And they had one back in the day. They had a worthy one back in the day, but then he went wrong.
And which I'm assuming is Black Adam, which I am excited about that, the potential of that at least.
Yeah.
And so the kid has the potential to be worthy, but then the 7 deadly sins start speaking to him, and then they have their own power, kind of a temptation test.
Yeah.
It was a test.
Yeah.
And he goes over there, like, your dad's gonna love you now. You're not gonna be useless to your dad.
And you can show your dad how wrong he is about you.
Yeah, and you're gonna have all the power in the world and live forever. So he goes for that, and then the wizard's like, well, fuck you. Back to your realm you go. He goes back. The accident continues. His dad becomes a crippled, and they both hate, him and his older brother, or his older brother and the dad hate him, and
they hated him anyway.
Yeah, they blame him for the incident.
To him anyway, but now they just flat out. It went from passive aggressive to no, just fuck you. We hate you outright. So. And
then many years later, he becomes the villain, played by the always reliable Mark Strong,
who finally got a good comic book film.
Well, Kick-Ass was good.
That's true.
Kick-Ass was good. Yeah. So, always reliable Mark Strong. He's good in the film. But now we have the flip side. We have Billy Batson. I believe that's the kid's name.
Yeah, and this was what worried me. I don't do well with movies with lots of kids in them.
Yeah,
and
like throughout the entire movie.
And this movie was full of children.
Yeah.
Full of them. And I was like, oh boy.
Yeah.
So we've got kids and we're in a family setting. Oh boy, okay, all right.
Not your favorite genre of film.
Not my forte.
Yeah.
It's not my thing. And one of the reasons I don't like movies with a lot of kids in them is because kids tend to not be the greatest actors.
Right.
And so I was already like, okay, open mind.
Yeah.
Open mind. We already got Gandalf beard. You know, let's see where this goes. Let's see how this goes. But luckily, all the kids that they cast for the movie, they all were fine.
Yeah,
they all did perfectly fine.
Mm-hmm.
The family was this cute little.
The foster family?
They were a foster family where the two foster parents, they came from a foster home system. So they got together and they decided they wanted to have this giant foster family. So they like brought in all these troubled kids that were in the foster care system. And then the Billy kid, he had this reoccurring thing where he kept remembering, he was looking for his mom.
Right.
And his thing was he would sneak out and he was looking through all these names. He was checking off all these names of what his mother's name was. And he would try to find out where she was. Mm-hmm. And come to find out later, he had this misconception about the memory of what actually was the case of what his mother was, which was a good person.
Yeah.
Not to say that, I mean, I'm not here to judge or defend the mom character.
Yeah.
But it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah, it was still kind of fucked up. I mean,
I'll just say that. Yeah. Like, what was she like? Not even 20? Like she was 17 or something?
Yeah.
And the dad left or went to jail or something by the time she had him.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things where she had him when she was like a teenager, and then she had him for like 4 or 5 years, and then she saw her chance and she took it.
Yeah, they were at a carnival and they got separated, and she could have reclaimed him. Yeah. But she let the cops take him. And was like, the cops will give you a better home. And it was kind of fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he I think up to that point, it was understandable why he wanted to be with his mom, but he was kind of being a dick about it to everyone, and he was kind of being selfish when this foster family was trying to help him.
He was one of those, I've been through the system for too long.
Yeah.
My perception of life is that I have a mom, I'm gonna find her, everything's gonna be great.
Right.
And in the meantime, the foster system I've been through has been shit.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be a dick to everybody.
Right.
That was
closed off, not sociable, but showed tendencies of being heroic. When his one of the kids he was with walks with a cane, has issues walking, and
he has the crutch. Right?
The crutch, and the bullies are beating him up. So Billy comes in and helps fight against the bullies. So he has tendencies of being heroic. Finally gets approached by Gandalf, and transfers the power to him. And at first, he discovered all these powers. He had help with his friend, the foster kid's friend, and was helping him out because he's a huge comic book superhero fan, basically. And he kind of helps him discover his powers, which is some of the comedy that comes with the film. So, not all of the comedy hits. Some of it's cheesy, but some of it's legit. And I was like, why am I having fun? I want to have fun, but I wasn't expecting to have fun this early. And that's why this is odd. Like, I can't believe I'm enjoying myself.
Yeah.
But not to make a long story short, he realizes that, with great power comes great responsibility.
It takes a long time.
Yeah. And he ends up almost killing a bus full of people.
Yeah.
But he rescues them and realizes who his real family is, who's really there for him is what's important. And Mark Strong wants that power from him. And they end up fighting. And
well, he has his own.
Yeah.
Obviously.
He hooked up with the 7 deadly sins.
Right.
He's powerful now. And we get some battles here and there. Now, here's the thing. I was not expecting a lot of action, really. When you look at that trailer, it looks like a superhero comedy. You know, like I'm not expecting ridiculous Avengers like massive epic battle Thanos throwdown. I'm not expecting it. Maybe there's a little bit of action here and there. They might punch each other a little bit, but I wasn't expecting it. But we actually get some decent action in this film, especially in the finale, which ended up at a carnival again. And if there was any movie that screamed Christmas movie, it was this movie. I was just like, wow, I'm surprised this didn't come out in Christmas time. But legit comedy. But here's the part of the movie I'm going to spoil, because the movie's been out for a while, where I was just like, okay, I'm all in. I'm all in now. Okay, this is bad. For a character I'm not a huge fan of, I'm like screaming like, oh my God, they did it! And that's the Marvel family appears, which is now known as Shazamily, which I think is stupid, but I guess that's what it's known as. But the Marvel family, every time I looked at the Marvel family in comic books, I just wanted to throw up. Like this is like too cheesy.
Yeah,
we're past the cheese here. All right, and the Billy Batson's with the Foster family at the carnival, and he's Shazam, and he's trying to protect them against Mark Strong and the 7 Deadly Sins. And he's like, wait a minute, I know how the power got transferred to me. I can transfer my power to my Foster family. And so now the Foster family kids all get powers. They become the Shazamily, and they each have a main power. And they have their action little scenes here and there, and there's comedy ensues. And I'm just like, I can't believe we did this. Like, we brought in the Shazamily. Like, wow.
And for me, somebody, again, like, having such very little knowledge about Shazam. Yeah. What I did know about him seemed cheesy. Oh, it's a little kid who gets turned into an adult by saying Shazam.
And he's still a kid inside a big adult body. That to me
sounds like, ugh. Knowing nothing about the Marvel family. Nothing about them. Yeah. So when that happened, I should have been like, what the fuck is this? But instead, I was smiling.
Yeah, see?
I was actually, like, grinning. Like, largely, grinning the whole fucking time, because it was so much fun to watch these grown-ass adults in these goofy outfits acting like their kid selves, because they're still their kid selves. Right. But they're big people in big muscly suits doing superhero stuff. Yeah. It was fucking adorable. Yeah. It was so cute.
Everyone has their moment. The Asian kid who was like the super hardcore video gamer, he shoots lightning from himself at one of the 7 Deadly Sins, and he says Hadouken. Okay? It's hilarious. But yeah, so everybody has their little moments, and even the little the girl. Yeah. She's kind of like the Flash character, so she has a lot of fast speed. You get a scene where the carousel is about to fall over, and she runs up slow motion style on the side and saves them. When that scene happens, Lady Phatblood's reaction was hilarious to me, but when that scene happens, I screamed out, "Justice League!" Because I'm like...
True story.
Yeah, I'm like... There's a little... This character that has super speed has this little cool moment that you remember. And it was fun. Yeah. The fucking Justice League movie.
A movie...
No one fucking remembers what Flash did in that movie. A movie... Except the hilarious scene where Superman catches him. And But, I mean, that's it.
A movie that had...
It is the fucking Flash.
A movie that had no ties to any of the other... Aside from mere mentions of Aquaman and the Flash and other... That's the only thing that this movie had any ties to, is that they mentioned... That was it. But a movie that had no build-up from other superhero films in the DCEU. Right. A movie that literally had to build itself within itself. Yeah. This movie had to build itself from start to finish.
Origin story.
It did all of that and told its own story and built itself up as a movie should. And it had a beginning, middle, and end. It had a beautiful setup and payoff.
Character arc.
And all of that. Yep. And it did it all on its own. And it managed to create an emotional response. Yeah. From characters that I didn't give a shit about. Right. Prior to seeing any of this. And now, I want a sequel. Yeah. Go fucking figure.
Yeah.
Whereas I haven't even been able to watch Justice League again. Think about
We've
that.
only watched it once.
Think about that.
We've
The
only
movie
watched that movie
that
once.
has Batman and Superman together.
And Wonder Woman.
Think about that.
Yeah.
I can't even watch it again.
No. But yeah, just... And I think our favorite scene in Shazam, which had us dying and going, okay, this movie is legit, was the scene of Mark Strong's chasing after Shazam, and they're flying through the city, right?
Yeah.
But they're far away from each other.
Yeah.
And then we get the cliche. They both stop in midair and they're looking at each other.
They're far away from each other. Yeah.
Yeah, far away from each other. And we get the cliche, it's time for the villain to do the villain monologue.
Expository dialogue.
Yeah, the villain speech. You will not defeat me, Shazam. I am all powerful, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
And then he cuts to Shazam.
Looking at Mark Strong's character, and all you see is Mark Strong talking, and you just hear muffled.
And then it comes back to Shazam, and he's like, I can't hear you. What? Wait a minute.
God.
That made the movie legit. That scene, because that happens all the time in these movies.
Man.
And we were like, dude, this is legit funny shit. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
So, yeah, fun ride. Highly recommend you guys watch Shazam.
I regret...
Shazam doubters, give the movie a shot.
I regret not seeing it.
Give the movie a shot. Yeah, I know.
I wish we could have seen it. It just we just didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I'm glad we saw it. This is a movie I could see watching again. Like
Yeah.
I could pop this in a couple times. This is a repeat view for me. It's that much fun.
And it helps that we both had low expectations.
And I love that it was fun without feeling like it was copying anything from Marvel.
Yeah.
It did not feel like a Marvel film. It didn't feel like it was trying to cash in on Marvel's goofy, zany, fun, random. It felt like it was its own thing.
Yeah.
It kind of felt like Aquaman, how you just leave them alone.
Right.
DC and Warner just kind of don't try to tie them into anything else.
Yeah.
Let them do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let them tell their story.
Yeah, be a good movie.
Let them be their film.
Right.
Don't try to connect them to anything. Don't do any stupid cameos or anything like that.
Right.
Leave them alone.
Mm-hmm.
Let them tell their story.
Yeah.
And then just release the film.
That's it.
That's how it felt to me.
Yeah.
And
it's nice.
And it's like where Aquaman was stupid, but I still had a really good time.
Yeah, big dumb fun.
Yeah. Shazam wasn't stupid for me. It should have been.
Yeah.
With the lead in a big goofy muscle suit looked ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it was.
And they even make fun of the outfit in the movie too.
But it was still a lot of fun. It was genuinely heartwarming fun to me.
Yeah. He picks up a large Batman figure and throws it at Mark Strong and goes, "Get him, Batman!"
Oh, I love the scene where he gets thrown out of the window.
Yeah.
And Mark Strong runs at him across the keyboard. Boom, 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 and he flies at him. Just random, like out of nowhere. And it's just like a quick second, but it was funny. It just came out of nowhere and made me laugh.
That was funny. But yeah, it's a good time. And now, I really hope, now that Shazam did well financially and critically, I hope that they don't fuck up Black Adam.
Yeah.
If you guys are unaware, Black Adam is an awesome villain, and he's such a badass, and The Rock was born to play him. And they better hurry up, because The Rock's getting old, and I don't know if interest is waning now.
No special suit required.
I know, no special suit required, but seeing The Rock, Black Adam against this Shazam is going to be hilarious, but epic if they do it right.
Yeah.
The last thing I heard, this is probably debunked now, but the last thing I heard was Black Adam might be introduced in the next Suicide Squad movie, which is a horrible idea. They need to hurry up and just make the damn Black Adam movie and then have him show up in Shazam. Or, fuck it, bring him in Shazam too. There. That's all you gotta do. He's the next villain. Let's do it. If they're smart, they should do that. But, yeah. But, yeah, we enjoyed Shazam. Very unexpected. Had a lot of fun with that. And is there any other movie news or anything? you want to talk about before we wrap up today's Verbal Nectar podcast?
No, I think that was pretty much...
Good to go?
One day we'll have a Verbal Nectar about your journey with Star Trek The Next Generation.
We should. We should.
Even though you haven't watched all of it. But you've seen a lot.
Yes, and I'm liking what I'm seeing, so...
I've gone back...
I want to continue the journey with you.
I have gone back and watched everything starting... We started watching Season 1. You watched all of Season 1 with me. And I want to say you watched some of Season 2 with me because you saw Pulaski and you're like, what a bitch. Because she was.
Yes. Yes.
But then you fell out, and then we stopped watching for like 2 years, and then I picked up again, and then I've been on a trailblazing.
And I've just been kind of in and out and watching what I can with you.
I've been like selecting key episodes.
Yes.
For you to watch. Like I'm giving you like the big ones to watch.
Yeah.
And then you'll see some of the regular episodes in between, but right now I'm showing you like the big ones.
Yes.
Like the Iborgs and the best of both worlds and all that. But one day
I'm enjoying it because
we'll go over that
Star Trek, I became I appreciate it. I have a more appreciation for Star Trek now than growing up, because growing up it was all about the damn glowy sticks. Okay? Don't fuck with my glowy sticks. I got a toy of a glowy stick. I'm gonna fuck up some Darth Vader, okay? You know, that's just how it is.
Yeah.
But later, slowly being introduced to the good shit of Star Trek.
Yeah.
When you can show someone the good stuff, you can bring them around.
Yeah.
You know.
And there is, contrary to what some people might have their, preconceived notions of Star Trek, there is a lot of good. There's a lot more good than bad when it comes to Star Trek.
Right.
And I'm trying to keep you on the good.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, this new Picard show.
Oh my God.
Is
you want to talk about being way too excited? Unfortunately.
What?
Unfortunately, no.
You're not going to be on the safe side and have low expectations a little?
I can't.
Wow.
You got to remember, I love TNG.
That's true.
I love TNG.
That's true.
And
so far, what you've seen doesn't look horrible, though.
No.
Maybe that's why you're still, excited. Because if it looked like shit, then you'd probably be like, ew.
The problem is, like, what I've been telling you when it comes to Star Trek The Next Generation is when The Next Generation was great, it was great.
Right.
And if you can take a concentration of the best of The Next Generation, which was the cerebral, emotional, like you just saw The Inner Light today.
Right,
that was the one we just saw.
That was good.
And you just recently saw Iborg with Hugh. And when you see those cerebral episodes, the ones that make you deal with the psychological side of the human condition, that was what The Next Generation excelled at.
Yeah.
And Picard's whole ordeal with the Borg was that, especially with the aftermath of dealing with what happened to him in that whole situation. And this whole show seems to be an offshoot of that. It's like a byproduct of that whole situation. And there's like something big has happened since The Next Generation ended, and since something major seems to have gone down. And there's a lot of unresolved issues for Picard with the Borg and whatever's going on. And I think it's going to be fascinating to see how he deals with it, and to see why he's being pulled back into this world with the Borg, and why the Borg survivors are being targeted the way they're being targeted.
Right.
And I'm fascinated. I can't help it. I'm fascinated because, like I said, the cerebral TNG is some of the greatest stories you're going to get.
Yeah.
And if you take 10 episodes and you take the best writing from those shows, from the original TNG, and you concentrate it into 10 episodes, just think of the potential. And I know it's a mistake to think in those terms. Yeah. But just think of the potential. That's what I'm looking forward to.
As long as it doesn't shit on what you liked, as long as it's solid.
But if it does, I will
destroy it.
I will say so.
Yes.
I will not be one of those. You know me, if I hate something, I won't hesitate.
But yeah, we'll do a verbal nectar of that once I finish it up with you. That'll be fun. Now remember guys. So. Yeah. Remember guys, Star Trek is huge. So if you find something that you like and you become big fans of it, it doesn't mean you have to love everything Star Trek. If you watch Next Generation and you love it, It doesn't mean you have to love Enterprise. You have to love, the original series. You don't have to. You can be picky. Even with the movies. You can, you don't have to like everything. So, but yeah, that'll be a fun little Verbal Nectar podcast. But yeah, let's go ahead and wrap it up for today. And we'd like to thank you guys for hanging out with us, listening to us jimma-jamma, and talking about what we love, which is movies and entertainment for the better or for worse. Whether you agree with us or not, it's nice to have you guys just stop by and listen to us rant and talk about what we love. So if you guys are new to the YouTube channel, that Phat Samurai Guy, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe and watch our videos. We really do appreciate all of the support and love that you have given us over these years. You guys rock, except for the ones that think all our trailer reactions are fake.
Oh my god.
You
guys wish we were that good of an actor.
And keep in mind, if our trailer reactions were fake, we would be doing trailer reactions to every single thing that comes out.
I know. Then we would have done.
We would become a full trailer reaction channel. Then we would have, and that's not what we are.
We would have done Joker and Mandalorian.
No, we would have done. No, fuck that. We would have done Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, Jesus.
But we do what we like. We do what we're interested in, and we do what we're curious about. So thank you, guys, for all your support and for following us. You guys fucking rock, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.